Hello, friends, and welcome to today's episode of the DLLS Cowboys podcast. Where we have all sorts of goodness. Where are we with Micah Parsons, Dak and CeeDee chasing Cooper Kupp? Did the Cowboys mess it up? Fran Duffy joins the show. And what else are the Cowboys going to do at quarterback? All of that. And it starts. Meow. What up, everybody? Welcome into today's Cowboys DLLS podcast. It is good to see you. Please hit the like button and make sure that you're subscribed while you're here. As always, shout out to those of you who have been hitting that like button and commenting before the show even started. Jesse likes to shout out whoever's first, so shout out to Armand today. Is that Armand today?
Armand George.
Congratulations on being number one.
Why does he look like Jerry?
Who?
He had Jerry's profile picture. Yeah.
Armand George look like Jerry.
It could be Jerry.
Is that Jerry?
Jerry watches. Jerry's a big fan of the show.
Knows everything.
I don't think I have anything to rant about today, Alex, but I appreciate you. But we do have all sorts of Cowboy things to cover, so thank you for being with us. My name is Jeff. I'm seated next to a sweet, sweet man who's a former Cowboys wide receiver named Jesse Holley.
Oh, Jesse Holley went 77 yards. It must be a reality show.
I have to wish happy birthday to my middle niece.
Okay.
16. Okay. Sweet 16. Of course, that's one of my favorite numbers. Of course, that play was wearing number 16. But Nana, happy birthday. Happy sweet 16. I hope that your day is filled with love and joy. Hope that your day is beautiful as you are. Uncle Jesse loves you forever. Happy birthday, Nana.
Happy birthday.
Birthday.
Next to Jesse, a man who is creeping up on 16 times 4, the greatest beat writer in the history of the Cowboys, Mr. Clarence Hill.
You want to win? Put pop. They want the song.
Oh, suddenly we
You
want
love
it.
this
Oh, the people love the
suddenly
song.
we want it.
The people. It's for the people. See? Can't get
Next to Clarence is the second greatest beat writer in the history of the Cowboys, Mr. Joe Hoyt.
Tell him something, Joe.
So I was dogging around on the internet.
Dogging?
Yeah.
Donging.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was donging. That's what I do. I dong around on the internet.
He doubled down on the dog.
That's one of my sayings. I like to dong around on the internet. And so while I was doing that last night, I realized that Micah Parsons either is about to sign his contract with the Cowboys, which is exciting, or he's not. Or they've made an incredible offer that is very fair, likely to be accepted, or they made a terrible offer that is offensive to him, or they haven't talked at all. That's what I gathered from donging around on the internet last night. So I thought maybe I would check in with our beat writers and see what happened with Micah, or didn't, or did.
Well, you know, I'm all over the internet. Actually, I was at an event with Jesse last night. I told you about
You were on the internet with Jesse last night?
What are you guys doing on the internet?
I'm always donging around on the internet. Most likely Twitter.
Drop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Twitter.
Yeah.
And so
Or
I saw the
Facebook.
stuff with bubbling up with Micah Parsons' brother insinuating that something was getting done and getting done soon. And I told you Micah was true to his word and all this other stuff. So I ran up the flagpole and I was told no.
Oh, so there was much to do about
I
nothing?
was told no. And Sterling Jane did the same thing. And she said she was told no. And I said, yeah, I didn't tweet it because I was not going to give it the energy.
Yeah.
But I brought it up to you last night. I mean, the stuff was bubbling out there on the internet and on Twitter that something was going on with Micah. So I said, let me just run up the flagpole. Maybe his brother knows something. He's part of the family.
Yeah.
You got to know something, right?
Surely, yeah. His brother was out there saying something. Like
Yes.
the Cowboys are moving different.
Yeah, moving different.
moving different.
And Micah's true to his word, and this is going to happen, and all the other content creators start jumping in, and so
I
I'm
don't
like,
think those two things go together. Like them moving different would mean they were aggressively trying to get something done, but Micah being true to his word would mean that he's willing to take less. And I don't even think those two things work together. So that's already a problem.
Engagement.
What should I tweet?
Engagement.
Do you like Dak?
Engagement.
if you tweeted that, I guarantee your engagement would be off the chart.
Yeah. So
You absolutely would be.
But you got to run up the flagpole just to see, and like I said, I was told that nothing's close. They're not at that point. And that doesn't mean they're not going to get none done. That doesn't mean that it couldn't happen next week because the road has been cleared. I mean, we know what the deal should be.
If you gave me 45 seconds donging around on the internet, I'll give you what Micah Parsons' contract is going to be. It's wild that the Cowboys pretend they don't know and then take a long time to get there. I'll tell you where it's going to end up.
Well, and what's also
$5 years, $205 million.
And what's also true, his agent has been busy with other deals. I mean, he's been getting some other guys paid.
His agent don't got people?
I'm just saying. He got people, but he does the deals. He's been busy with some other deals too.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, Derek Stingley was one of them. Bunch of receivers. So I mean, he's been busy. But to your point, it's not. This is not to suggest that it's not going to happen. But
not that he's not. Wait.
We're just talking, sir.
No. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Why? I'm just. I can't just.
No. But don't.
What?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, what are you about to say?
I'm so curious where this is going.
What's happening?
No, because let's not say his agent's busy.
I understand. That's where I was.
This deal takes precedence. This will be the largest deal he ever makes.
Ever?
For a time,
not quarterback. Not quarterback.
And for a time being.
I'm going to say he did do the Sean Watson deal.
Non-quarterback.
This one will be bigger.
Non-quarterback. Nah, it won't get over $230 million guaranteed.
Well, no, not in total, but per year, Mike is going to beat what Watson got.
So I'm like, let's not if there's contract precedent that needs to take place, and I'm getting deals done. Now, yes, I'll probably focus on working with the owners and GMs that want to work right now.
So it takes two to tango,
right?
So, yeah.
But
yes,
and make no mistake about it. This is the biggest. This deal for him will be the biggest deal that he makes to date.
No doubt, and that's why I was saying, okay, yes, we had too much dip on our chip by saying,
God, I love that phrase.
It's a great phrase.
By saying he was busy. We were just talking. And I knew you were going to go there. And that's why I was saying, we had a little too much. We're not really literal about he was too busy. Okay.
All right.
So don't jump on us with the too busy. Yes.
Right.
I would just say he did have some other deals to get done.
I got too much dip on my chip.
That's all I was trying to say. Because I knew you were finna jump on. He ain't too busy for Mike.
I got a little too much salsa on my nacho.
Oh, that's okay.
You know what I'm saying?
We didn't mean that Mike was on the back burner.
I got a little too much salsa on my bell grinder.
That's all I was trying to say.
I knew you liked it.
That's where I was going with that. It's like, hey, I'm not trying to cut you off, but don't kill us for just talking.
Also, this story has been written for quite some time. Like in terms of when he's actually going to sign, we've known that it's probably going to be some point during training camp. We'll see if it's a holdout or not. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. That's how they've done business. Like I think it would be shocking, frankly, if it was before that.
The thing about the CeeDee was in training camp.
4 years, $162 million, so that's $40,500,000 per year. Guaranteed money. Myles Garrett got $88.8, so Mike is going to get $90. He's going to sign a 4-year, $162 million deal with $90 million guaranteed. That's going to be the contract.
Yeah.
Should be something like that.
And the Cowboys will pretend that we can't figure this out until training camp.
Right. And like I said, the reason CeeDee they were waiting for Justin Jefferson. There's nothing to wait for, and I mean legitimately.
Yeah, I know. I hear you.
Because CeeDee was waiting.
For TJ Watt to get
CeeDee was waiting, okay?
Yeah.
And I don't think that Micah's waiting on I mean, I'm saying it in the two to tango category.
Right.
The other party, CeeDee, was literally waiting on Justin Jefferson to get done.
What was holding them back from Dak Prescott?
Now, that's two different conversations, yeah.
I'm just saying.
But I'm just saying that the CeeDee deal legitimately.
We're talking apples and oranges.
Legitimately, they were waiting on somebody. Here, you're not waiting on nobody. The precedent is you're not waiting on TJ Watt, okay? The market has already been up 3 times, in the last 2 weeks.
So why not do it now?
They never should have been waiting. Like there was no Micah's people weren't waiting for Myles Garrett because you didn't know that was going to happen. Like
no, they weren't waiting
to be
for
traded, and then maybe I'll get a deal worked out, and then that was the Browns being aggressive
you
keeping their player.
The agents, what I'm saying, there are no secrets in the agents are talking.
When?
Yeah, but
they know what people are getting and getting what they're talking about.
When did you tweet or comment donging around on the internet while you were talking? Like, I'm so confused.
He said donging around on the internet.
No. But like, when did he comment? He commented it.
Oh, Oh, you didn't pick up his phone?
No, yeah, but while he was
didn't
saying it, I'm just
I
like,
saw him pick up his phone.
I picked it up while we were talking.
I mean, you are a just versatile guy. This is a multifaceted tool
That's
here.
a Jeff quote, not a Michael. That's a Jeff quote.
I'm just laughing that you commented while talking seamless. I didn't even know.
It's better than saying how else you can say like that. I accumulated a bunch of information that I saw all over the World Wide Web.
No, how about dilly-dallying?
How about
dogging
scrolling
around on the internet?
How about scrolling?
I was dilly-dallying on the internet.
What about fiddle fart?
What about just scrolling?
Kyle said you can never have too much dip on your chip.
But what happens if you break that chip, Kyle? That's the problem. I mean,
what if that chip is on your back?
Yeah, what if that chip's on your shoulder?
Anthony Brown ruffle tattoo. Aaron is in the super chat.
Oh,
wah, wah.
I hope you had a good vacation.
Hey guys, what's going on vacation? But I'm back now. What is everyone's thoughts on the state of the franchise now? Are we heading in the right direction? Yeah.
Are we?
Man, yeah.
Are we headed in the right direction?
Have they ever changed a direction?
Right.
Like they're just heading.
What does right mean? He said right direction though.
Yeah, they're headed toward the draft.
Listen, Aaron, if you want to glass half full, they're doing way more than they did last year.
Yeah.
Sure. Last year they did nothing.
Yeah.
This year they're active signing guys in the first week of free agency. That's way more than they did last year. Are they better? That's the question.
Do you guys think Parris Campbell will have 1,000 yards or not?
No.
In his career?
Stop it, man. Stop it. He's had that in his career.
No, I don't think he has.
He had like 600 yards. He had one like 600 yards.
He had 700 yards, and the other seasons have been like 100 and 200. Like he's definitely got not more than 1,500.
Oh no, way, it's 1,500.
Yeah.
No. Listen, he had one big year though.
Hold on, I'm gonna get to the bottom.
In Indy.
This big Parris Campbell conversation. Let me get to the bottom. 1,117, baby.
There you go. He had one big year.
9 yards per catch, which is like a bad tight end.
1,117 for his career.
9 yards, pretty good for a tight end.
9.1.
Yeah,
it's okay for a tight end. It's very bad for a receiver.
That's what Evan Ingram was.
Very good for a tight end. 9 yards a catch.
I knew it was over with Witten when he started dropping below 9 and then got down to 8. Armand's in the super chat. The two players that reconstructed their contracts to give money to get more players went to the front office for a specific player, and they said, "No, we got McDonald's at home."
Well said.
He's stealing our segment.
And just to be clear, those restructure things are not the players giving back money. It's literally just them doing things that were already written in it and saying, nope, it's just going to count later. It changes nothing about what the players get. They're not actually doing you a favor. It's just an accounting trick. So don't give them credit.
But they are doing them a favor.
They're not. They're
not.
Literally nothing.
It was put in the contract.
They
for them to do it.
It's put in every contract.
Yeah, it's put in the contract.
Literally nothing.
To give the Cowboys the opportunity, the ability to clear cap room.
Yes.
They allowed them to put it in the contract.
If allowing a standard NFL contract is allowing it, yes.
Well, I don't think those 1 year BS contracts.
You're probably not going to restructure a 1 year contract because it's not possible.
You could have 4 void years to it.
Or them 2 year contract that's really a 1 year deal. I'm just saying it's quid pro quo. I mean, yeah, okay, we can put it in the contract. But yes.
Chris said tell CeeDee that, Jeff. I loved that CeeDee went on the internet and pretended that he did do something. He's like,
iconic.
Look, we can't win with just me. That's why I restructured. You got a text on your phone that said, hey, we moved some accounting stuff. And he went, okay. There's nothing about it.
And what's also true is they don't get it all up front. They turn it into a bonus.
But it's not actually paid as a signing bonus.
Yeah, it's not paid as a sign. You don't get it all up front.
It changes nothing.
Yes.
You think that the first time you heard about the restructuring was like on the internet when people said, hey, it happened to you. And people were like, hey, CeeDee, like, great job. Thanks for doing it. And he's like, you're welcome.
You got it, bro.
Most likely.
You are welcome.
Yeah.
I would do anything for this team.
We're going to have to ask him about that.
I'll do it again next year.
We got to ask him about it. It's kind of funny.
So anyway.
Even if that means getting on the phone with someone else. He'll do anything for this team. CeeDee. Even if that means getting on the phone.
That's professionals. Who was CeeDee on the phone with? What did they talk about? And did the Cowboys drop the ball? That's next on the DLLS Cowboys podcast.
Yep. If you can tell by my shirt, that college basketball tournament is happening right there.
I still can't believe they let the guy who chairs the thingy put his own team in when they didn't deserve it.
He wasn't in the room that they said. Oh, but
stop it.
He wasn't in the room. That's what he said. But anyway, if your team is in the college basketball tournament that happens during this month,
why are you looking at me?
And you want I'm just saying that I didn't know if your team was in it or not. And you want to be at the game. They're not. Don't have to look up.
Okay.
Here's what you got to do. You download the Game Time app. Okay. You get this on your phone. You download it for for Apple, for Android, it doesn't make a difference. Right? You head on over there, and they're gonna tell you exactly. Don't go through the scalpers. Don't do that illegal stuff. You get to the door, tickets won't work. Guaranteed to work right here. Use the promo code DLLS and get $20 off your purchase. And when you go onto the app, they're gonna tell you exactly where you're sitting, so you never have to worry about, am I in the right section? Am I in the wrong section? You know where you're going to be sitting. So get over to Game Time. Download the app, use the promo code DLLS, and get $20 off your purchase. What time is it?
Game time. Game time to go get your meal game right. HelloFresh. Use the code FREECowboys. Love the HelloFresh because your boy is a basket man at the grocery store. I'm a basket man. I'm not a cart man. Which means I don't get enough groceries, which means then I need to go back the next day, but I don't. So I eat like crap for about a week, and then I go grab the basket again. HelloFresh takes care of all of this for me. Farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients, seasonal recipes delivered right to my doorstep. Skip the trips to the grocery store with our friends at HelloFresh. Their ready-made meals go from the fridge to your fork in just 3 minutes. Their prep and bake meals come together with minimal mess and only 5 minutes of prep. Their 15-minute meals are done in just 3 simple steps. So many different options with our friends at HelloFresh. Get up to 10 free meals and a free high-protein item for life at HelloFresh.com/FreeCowboys. 1 item per box with active subscription. Free meals applied as discount on first box. New subscribers only, varies by plan. All right, so Dak and CeeDee were allegedly, maybe, working the telephones. By the way, my tweet, "Do you like Dak?" is doing pretty good engagement.
I'm not surprised.
82 responses so far.
What are a couple?
Do you like Dak? I love him. Yes, of course. Yeah. But best start getting the hair in place. Yes, because I'm not autistic. Now do Jerry. Yes, most of us are autistic, at least a little bit. Now do Jerry. Yes. As a person, yes. Yeah, I'm not. Can't say that word. Yes. Meh. Yes, yes. No. I like him. I just question whether we've seen the best of him. People have answered.
You know what would do great engagement is if we gave Clarence's cell out and just said call.
817.
Don't dox me, man. Don't dox me.
I will tell you the fact, just that you mentioned that, because I bet there's crossover and people watching this and people who listened to the radio 10 years ago when someone gave out my phone number. I will get texts in this segment because of what you just said.
I'll bet you a beer. I'll bet you a beer in it.
Well, I got $40 for it.
Yeah, he gave out his own phone.
I was out of money.
He agreed to it.
I was out of money. I needed Taco Bell. And so Mike Bassick offered me $40 if he could give out my phone number. And he did. So allegedly, Dak and CeeDee were trying to get Cooper Kupp to the Cowboys, like telephone calling him or whatever. I mean, actually, let me go to the experts. What do we know about Dak and CeeDee and Cooper Kupp?
Well, according to Adam Schefter, the Adam Schefter podcast.
How tall is he?
He's about my height.
Okay, he's not tiny.
Your height?
I think he's like 5'8", 5'9", yeah.
Okay, I thought
he's not 5'8" or 5'9".
See, I was thinking he was like 5'4".
Yeah, I think he's short. I don't know. No, that's Ian.
No, Ian's short.
Is Ian that tiny?
Ian's like 5'6".
Boy, he got tiny man energy too.
Yeah, Ian and
I think Schefter's
our guy Zach.
I think Schefter's
our guy Zach.
Oh man.
And
however tall he is, he's shorter than whoever the female host is of that show.
He's tiny. He's a tiny guy.
Laura Rutledge? I think Laura Rutledge is kind of tall. I think
Okay,
she's
you
like
think she
5'10".
might be 5'10"?
Yeah.
Okay, so he might be. Anyway, what were you saying?
Anyway, on his podcast, he said that Dak and CeeDee reached out to Cooper Kupp, and trying to encourage him, recruit him to come to the Cowboys and free agency after he was released by the Rams. And the Cowboys were interested. Not just Dak and CeeDee, the Cowboys were interested. Remember that day it came out when he tweeted the Cowboys were interested and he tweeted the Cowboys were out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That all happened in a few hours.
They were about to sign him, but they weren't.
They were not about to sign him.
Well, he had a tweet that said they were.
An hour later, he backtracked hard.
They was never about to sign him, but they were interested, and then they found out the price.
Yeah.
And they said, we out.
Well, I think it's
funny.
And
that's what he said. He said the Cowboys, when they saw the price, they, it was a non-starter for them.
I mean, I think it's funny, and it better be funny because when we look back at that day, yes, he came pretty hard about the idea of, hey, I know. He said it pretty hard about like, hey, like they're a dark horse in this and they're actually working towards a deal, right? And then an hour later it was, hey, they're out or they're not going to be the front runners. I actually don't expect it to happen. You kind of find out now why Schefter, I think, was so adamant that like, oh, the Cowboys could be working towards a deal because he had heard, I think, that that Dak and CeeDee were recruiting him and stuff like that. But that doesn't mean just because Dak and CeeDee want something that's what Steven and Jerry ultimately want to pay for.
Yeah, and the good news is that
There's no good news.
no, it's good news. It's good news because we all want Dak to do something, right?
What do you mean?
Quit being quiet. Dak, do
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Be a leader. Dak was doing something.
Do something.
He was trying to help this team out. He was trying to recruit players. That's what you want from your quarterback, right? That's what you want from CeeDee.
For sure.
Trying to come help me.
For sure.
CeeDee said, I can't do it by myself. He was actually going out trying to get somebody to come help him. I don't know if Jalen Tolbert like that.
Yeah. What do the other receivers think when they're reading that? Are they texting CeeDee like, man, what about me?
And so they went out and they were trying to, help the Cowboys, help themselves. It's funny.
Better be funny.
How often you guys at home think about segments and think about the show? Oof. And I'm at home last night.
Constantly.
And
that could have went left for a second.
Because you could have said, how often do you think about feet?
Nah.
But you said the show.
How often do you think about dying?
Never mind.
Not as often as I used to.
But I was just thinking, like I tweeted yesterday about nobody eats their own or like this Cowboy fan base, this Cowboy environment, because everybody hates on Mike and so many Cowboy fans hate on Dak, like, Captain Thunder here.
Shout out to Captain Thunder.
But
Sergeant Lightning.
Remember with Romo friendly and everything is about making things easy for Romo?
Corporal Wind.
You remember those days, Romo friendly?
Yeah,
that
Romo
was
friendly,
a Jerry,
yeah.
one of those things.
Yeah, it's the dumbest phrase of all time.
I understand that, but it was all about, hey, we're doing everything to make this easier on our quarterback, help our quarterback.
Which is what every team should do for their quarterback at all times.
And I saw with Cincinnati, yeah, we paid you at the time the most money of any quarterback. But hey, we're going to pay those receivers too. We're going to get you help. We're not going to say because we paid you money, we're going to go, you have to do more with less.
Right.
The Cowboys, on the other hand, or Philadelphia, yes, we paid you top of the market money quarterback, but we're also going to get you top of the market receivers, go get your running back that's top of the market and pay him, and we're going to get you some offense, a great offensive line. We're going to do some things. What have the Cowboys done to help Dak since they paid him that type of money?
Katya, do I get one today or do we not get one anymore?
No. Bobby goes, no.
You don't get one?
God?
God, down.
God?
I mean, what have the
Is that you?
But I'm just saying, what have the Cowboys done to help Dak? Other than say, hey, we gave you this contract, make it work.
Rant loading?
Nothing. I mean, they're trying their best.
No, they're trying their best at a budget.
They're
not trying to get the best players around him. The Eagles are trying to get the best players around their quarterback. The Bengals are trying to get the best players around their quarterback. Yeah. The Cowboys are not trying to get, other than CeeDee, they're not trying wholeheartedly to get the best players around their quarterback.
No, I agree with you. I think I'm tired of just teeing off on them every day, so I was going to try to portray it as like they think they are.
No, they don't.
Like the Cowboys believe that they're trying their best to win, right?
Best to win and getting the best players are two different things because they have a category of how they want to win. Everybody has a budget. Everybody's like, like the quarterback. Like it's like,
I think Cooper Kupp is a missed opportunity. I don't think $15 million a year is too much for Cooper Kupp in any way, shape, or form.
Especially when you have the money.
The best receivers make $40 million. The really good number 2 receivers make almost $30 million, which means $15 million can absolutely be a really good third receiver in today's NFL.
Yeah.
The idea that 15 is too much is goofy to me.
That's my point. It's like, so we don't get Cooper Kupp. We go get Parris Campbell. How does that? We go get Parris Campbell.
Parris Campbell won't play a snap for this team.
I understand, but that's what they did in free agency.
Right.
One of the things I think we do as humans.
Oh, you better have something in your pocket. I'm talking about me as we.
Yeah, we as humans.
Mouse in your pocket.
We as humans do is that we think that they think the way that we think. And
hold on.
No, I got it.
We think that they think that we think how they think.
I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
Yep.
Got
it. Their whole design has been draft, develop, pay those guys.
Yep. And when you aren't drafting well, suddenly,
But they believe that guys like Jalen Tolbert or Ryan Flournoy or Mingo or whoever they currently have on their roster are good enough to get the job done. They think that they are set in the way that these players that we go out here, we don't have to. For them, the $15 million for Cooper Kupp is an overspend.
Yeah.
And they don't believe that what Cooper Kupp would bring and what they have currently on their roster will make that much of a difference. It makes a $15 million or $13, $14 million difference from what the guys that they do have.
Crack kills.
And it may be crack, but they believe in what they bring on.
Yes, but there were times like when they went after Amari Cooper, like when they flirted with
No. When they went after Amari Cooper, they had nothing in the cupboard.
Right, but they developed. They wouldn't got guys. I'm just saying they wouldn't got the Parris Campbells of that year, and they got guys. They made a mistake. They recognized that they were wrong. They also went after OBJ a couple of years ago. They did flirt with OBJ to add him to the roster a couple years ago.
Baby.
They went and got last year. They went after got Ming. I mean, when they went and got Brandon Cooks, they realized, hey, we need to add a free agent, and he wasn't a cheap free agent at that time. You know, and so they went and added something.
They added the people they thought it was supposed to be added. They added Mingo. They added that guy.
You know, it'd be a great move.
I'm talking about guys that have been productive. I'm talking about guys that have done something. Guys that are Peter dropping this league.
No, and that's where they're wrong. Like that's
I'm talking
where
about
they're
guys
wrong.
that
There
have
are
dumped
times
in.
when they've been serious, and there are times when they've done stuff that this is.
When Mingo's never Peter dropping his league.
When they got Amari Cooper, they didn't have a CD on this roster.
I understand that because they chose to do a receiver by committee. I remember that offseason.
Alan Hearns, but
is that what they were preaching?
Yes.
Just like running back.
Yes. That was their decision of how they want to build a team. And that's why I go back to everybody kicks Dak's butt. But look at how they built the team with Dak. And Dak was on a rookie deal. Yeah. You know, he was on a rookie deal at that time. And they made Alan Hearns and those guys, they're the big receiver acquisitions after they let Dez Bryant go.
Look at
That's
Clarence.
crazy.
Clarence is hating today.
I'm not hating. I'm just talking. I'm just
he's
spitting facts here as we look at this team.
When they let Dez Bryant go at that particular time, would you agree that was a decision that wasn't universally decided on?
Dez was washed.
No, I'm not saying that he wasn't washed. I'm just saying that there were some people in the organization that wanted him to stay, and there were some that did not want him to stay.
I bet the owner wanted him and the coach didn't.
Jerry wanted him, the coach didn't.
But ultimately, they made the move. So I think in that particular time, this is the Jason Garrett era, right? The right kind of guys. And Jason in his mind was saying, if I have to tell them that we are better without Dez Bryant to get him off my football team,
I'll say it.
I'll say it. And then those who believed in Jason Garrett believed it.
Yeah.
And then they went on about how this group would be able to go out there and produce without the headache and the interruption of a Dez Bryant.
We're not living in the back shoulder world.
Noted YouTube golfer Bryce Butler.
Yeah, Bryce Butler. Yeah, my guy Bryce.
DJ, all that kind of stuff, right?
DJ Duffel Bag.
And then what happened was life happened. And then they realized, we made a horrible mistake.
Yeah.
And then they went and spent the money to go get Amari Cooper. Now, what they do currently have on their team is a top 3 wide receiver in the league.
And they're paying him, so we can't be
and they're paying him.
Can't be worried about
so there isn't this feeling of, now they may go and draft a guy, that's fine, but there isn't this feeling of the cupboard is fully bare. We have one of the best that we can lean on.
And what's been my agenda? CD and a bunch of maybes.
Right.
And so
to Clarence Hill.
To everybody that's watching the game.
They may not feel that way.
That's the problem. The problem is that the general public knows more than them sometimes.
I mean, which is why
two things can be absolutely
which
true.
why I led with the fact that what Cincinnati's doing. You know, they got paying 2 receivers $30 million. You know,
and they waited to the very last minute to do that.
But they did it.
Yeah,
they did it. They've been on the team. They did it. They committed to giving their highly paid quarterback 2 highly paid receivers.
I've got a pitch that I want to discuss at some point, so maybe segment 4, but I've got an idea. That's all I'm saying.
Joe has an idea. I see you in the super chat, Jason, Josh, Kerry, Chris, Duck. I see all of you, but we also have a schedule. So I'm going to get to you after we talk to our buddy Fran. Fran Duffy's going to talk to us. It's NFL draft time. It's Cowboys draft time with our buddy Fran. That is coming up next on the DLLS Cowboys podcast.
Outdoor season is upon us. All the outdoor activities that you can think of, fishing, tubing, camping, tailgating, these coolers are for you. They're designed for you. And the coolers that I'm talking about, the coolers at Rugged Road.
Rugged Road.
RuggedRoadOutdoors.com is where you can go and get these floatable, lightweight design. They're versatile. They're stylish. They're what you need.
Float the river with that bad boy.
They're what you need to take your cooler game to the next level. Right now, some of you are right here with your cooler game, your cooler levels. If you want to bring yours, don't spend your time with the Joneses, okay? And think about, oh, we're good. We don't really need much, but go and get your cooler game up.
Get it up.
Be like Howie. Get the cooler, the Howie of coolers at Rugged Road. Use the promo code DLLS and get 10% off a cooler at ruggedroadoutdoors.com.
I do not support that cheering for the Philly stuff he just did.
Shout
out to our friends at Sleeper, baby. Promo code is DLLS Boys. I love the Sleeper app.
Bobrovsky.
Put your ball knowledge to the test. All you got to do, pick whether your favorite or least favorite players are going to have more or less than their projected stats each week. I heard Bobby mention on the Mav show yesterday, one of the, apparently it's League of Legends is one of the things that you can pick more or less on.
LOL.
I don't know what they're doing. What is that, like? Is that like kills and stuff?
Yeah, they do stuff.
Do they capture the flag? You don't
they
know
do
either, do you? But yeah, whatever sport you like, all you can do is pick these different players, more or less points, assists, rebounds, saves, shots on goal, whatever. And the more picks you combine, the more you can make, up to 100 times your money. Just use the promo code DLLS Boys when you sign up as a new user on the Sleeper app, and you'll get $55 in free entries when you place a $5 contest. All right, it's time to talk draft as we do every week, every Wednesday. We check in with our buddy, Fran Duffy, best in the business when it comes to the NFL draft. Happy to have him as a teammate and happy to have him every Wednesday at 11:30 Central Time. I don't want to confuse him with the clock because I would imagine that he's in an evil city and it's a different time than Hi, Fran Duffy.
What's going on, guys?
We're just hanging out, getting ready for the Cowboys to fix their whole team in the draft.
We just donging around.
We're just donging around. Unless Parris Campbell goes for 1,400 yards, that'd be a nice little season there. Get us going in the right direction.
100%.
I do want to start with wide receivers with you, Fran, because our friend Jory Epstein, I saw, she's at Yahoo now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not USA Today.
Yahoo.
Said in talking to some NFL people that a lot of people see sort of 4 wide receivers total. And I bet this means grading, not getting picked, but in the first 2 rounds, like 2 in the first, 2 in the second. And I don't think that's crazy because I want one of 4 receivers in this draft if I want to feel really good. But how do you see this wide receiver class? If it's a team like the Cowboys who desperately wants their second best receiver, do you agree that that's sort of limited to 4 guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, there's probably going to be more guys that go in round 2. You know, I think there are more names called, but in an ideal world, I think that teams would love it if there was a little bit more talent this year. I think we've gotten kind of accustomed to the fact that we've said, oh, there's wide receivers every year. This year, it's a little bit down. There's not that true, but unless you count Travis Hunter, there's not that true like blue chip guy at the top that everybody universally is excited about. Look, Tetairoa McMillan, he's a certain kind of player, but he's really good at that skill set that he's got, right? And that's big body. He's never going to put the ball on the ground. You're going to line him up and feel good. He may not be that consistent big play threat in the NFL, but if you're looking for a reliable, really strong number 2 to pair with a dynamic option like a CeeDee Lamb, you could do worse than T-Mac. You could do worse than McMillan.
Fran, talking about and keeping on the theme of T-Mac, the reports have come out and they've been a little bit kind of up and down the scale about what he ran in his 40. He put out a
4.36, baby.
He put out a kind of abbreviated sort of I don't even know what do you really call it, video of him running the 40. Yeah, the mixtape.
A mixtape.
It was a mixtape of a 40. If the time was slower, does that drop him some in the draft, or is still like turn on the film? This is what it is. Game speed and 40 speed don't really matter to me.
Yeah, I think that every person, every evaluator, every team is going to feel a little bit differently about that, Jesse. And I think at the end of the day, you don't watch Tetairoa McMillan on film and see a guy, oh man, like this guy's going to be a breakaway threat in the NFL. He's going to consistently threaten people vertically down the field. all the various 40 times that are out there. It's always funny, and it happens every single spring. Obviously, the agent and the player will want the fastest times possible out there. Whereas, look, at the end of the day, every team is going to have their time that boots on the ground got. Then basically what happens is after when the whole pro day is over, all the scouts that are in attendance, everybody that took a time, all get together, they huddle up off to the side, and they say, okay, what's the most common time amongst all of us? That's going to be the universal number that will go on the sheet that is distributed to all 32 teams and to the CFL and to all the other leagues. But at the end of the day, teams most often are going to go with the time that they've got on their watch. And at the end of the day as well, you might have a 40 from the combine, a 40 from the pro day, a 40 from last spring. Maybe you have them run a 40 again at some point during like a private workout or something. Whatever the best time is from that number, that's what's going to go on the card, right? So there's all kinds of 40s that are going to be out there all kinds of times, but it's that time of year, the silly season, where they're going to get conflicting reports left and right.
Fran, at the end of the day, the Cowboys are going to have to take a running back at some point in this draft, right? Mel Kiper's for a second straight mock Omarion Hampton to the Cowboys. Is he a first rounder at this point? And if the Cowboys don't get Hampton in the first round, if he goes, who are some backs they can get in the second or third round?
I do think that Hampton ends up in the first round. I do. He's an awesome player. Now, 12 might be a little rich for my blood, for Hampton, but I would not fault them necessarily for the decision. I would just say, you probably could have gotten some better value at some different spots. But I think when you're looking at Hampton, he's got that ability to be that foundation ball carrier. The player that he reminds me of is the NFL version of David Montgomery. The Montgomery coming out of Iowa State was a third round pick by the Chicago Bears. But when you're looking at what he's become in the NFL, he has that ability to be that lead dog in a backfield, has that ability to be a true 3-down presence. And I look at that with Hampton. Now, I think at the end of the day, you're probably a little bit closer to like the tier 3 end of it. I know some people say, he's right there with Jeanty. Some people have him ahead of Jeanty. I'm not quite there yet. I'm going to put Jeanty a tier ahead of Omarion Hampton, but I think at the end of the day, there are plenty of backs that Dallas could settle up with here when you get to round 2, when you get to round 3. Certainly, Quinshon Judkins from Ohio State is probably the closest in terms of skill set when you look at Omarion Hampton. And he's more of that grinder between the tackles, bigger body. There are some red flags with the profile with Judkins, mainly that so much of his yardage over the course of his career, not necessarily just last year at Ohio State, but over the course of his career, have come against light boxes. And when you look at the history of backs, that the volume of yards and the volume of carries that have come against light boxes, that's a tough needle to thread for guys that have found NFL success. But he is a big back who's got explosive traits. He's got a lot of tread on the third. He's got a lot of wear and tear on those tires. He's been a 3-year starter at 2 big programs. So Judkins is another name certainly to keep in mind. And then I would say the other one would be Caleb Johnson from Iowa. I've compared him in the past to a DeMarco Murray, in terms of what he can be from like a height, weight, speed standpoint, more of like a stretch zone. Get him on a track. Let him be a one-cut guy. That's what he was at Iowa, and I think that's the kind of system, the kind of situation that would benefit him most in the NFL.
Fran, we talk so much about the 12th pick, but I'm just kind of curious, as the scouting process goes on, as you're talking to people, is there a name that just kind of keeps coming back to you that's a little bit later in the draft where you're like, man, I like this guy? And is there a guy later in the draft where like, you know what, like I see Dallas Cowboy with him. There's something about him that fits the profile, whether it's 3rd, 4th, 5th round. I just think that he ends up with a star in his helmet. I'm just kind of curious, maybe 2 different questions, but curious what your thoughts are on those.
No, and it's good stuff there. I think when you're looking at players that at terms of 12, where I'm like, man, like this one makes a ton of sense to me. We talked last week about Tyler Booker, the guard from Alabama. I think he checks a lot of the boxes, more so than most teams. I should say less so with most teams. The Cowboys, when you look at their first round picks, they don't target like plus athletes, plus speed profiles, guys where it's like, oh man, like they really look outstanding at the combine. That hasn't really been the profile of a lot of the guys that they've taken in the first round, again, compared to the rest of the NFL. So I don't think that they're going to get scared off by bad testing from a guy like Tyler Booker. I know that's going to knock him for some people. I don't think that would be the case for Booker. So that's one that certainly stands out. I think when you look at the corner from Michigan, I think that he certainly has a skill set that would make a lot of sense. Jeff, I know you've talked about how when Matt Eberflus got hired, and he's like, yeah, we've got two great corners. He's like, do you though? Are you sure?
Who are they?
Are you sure about that in terms of the health and durability of both Bland and Diggs? So, I think when you're looking at a couple of those guys at 12, I think Walter Nolan we've talked about. I think he makes a lot of sense. So between Will Johnson, Tyler Booker, and Walter Nolan, those are three names that kind of stand out to me for the Cowboys at 12. And then I think when you're looking into day 3 of the draft, there are so basically I keep a spreadsheet, guys, of all 32 teams, and just kind of peg like, all right, who are some players that kind of fit each team's profile, and who are ones that make sense, and I'll hit on that as I go through as we get a little bit closer. I'll do my 7-round mock and some team specific things, but just looking at my notes right now, some guys that kind of make sense for me that check a lot of the boxes that would make sense once you get into day 3. I mentioned Caleb Johnson, the running back from Iowa. I think he makes a lot of sense. Look, they plucked a number of college coaches here in this cycle when they brought in the new staff. So I think you're looking at a number of these Oregon players. You're looking at some Kansas State. I think there's going to be a lot of connections here to some players that that you're drafting here in those mid to late rounds that would make some sense here for the Cowboys.
Fran, we lost Cooper Rush, and so we're in a tight spot over here.
Sorry.
And Ian Rappaport, he was talking reckless. He got a little big man energy about when the Cowboys might draft a quarterback in this draft. Once you move beyond two-parter, is Jackson Dart about to be a first-round pick? Because I just saw him in Jeremiah and Kuiper's mock drafts. And how many names are there in this draft that play quarterback that you could see as I'd say third round or later that teams are going to like as potentially he could turn into an NFL dude?
I actually think this is a really good class for backup quarterbacks. It's just that a backhanded compliment maybe to this group, but I think it's actually a really good class for backups. For a number of these players, I think you can look at and say, yeah, I don't know if I love his starting upside. Like I look at Riley Leonard from Notre Dame, and I'm like, I don't see him as a future starter. I don't think that he's got that ideal skill set. But in terms of like the athleticism, the intangibles, everything you hear about him, off the field, but then also like what he has shown on the field, there are so many backup quarterbacks in today's game where that's the skill set. And I think I feel really good about Riley Leonard's ability to come in and handle that. Will Howard from Ohio State, Dylan Gabriel from Oregon, Kyle McCord from Syracuse. You talk about other players like Jalen Milroe and Quinn Ewers, where the upside is there to become a starter down the line. But if not, I feel good about their ability to stick as a backup. Tyler Shuck from Louisville, he's got a really high floor. I think he's got starting upside as well, but the floor is there. So I think that there are going to be options there to kind of fill your pockets when you lose a Cooper Rush. But look, the quarterback class, not rich at the top, but when you get to the middle and late rounds, I think there are going to be options there for teams.
Fran, you're a beast. We appreciate you. We'll see you next Wednesday.
Sounds good, guys.
At the end of the day.
At the end of the day. We got Fran and Stephen Jones on the end of the day train.
When we talk about backup quarterbacks, and is there a guy, and see, that's my thing about, like, when they talked about kid from Texas, Quinn Ewers. Is there a guy that can come in and win?
I was going to say, you went to Texas.
His quarterback.
Your quarterback.
Listen.
We all brain fart.
We all brain fart. But is there a guy that will be better than Cooper Rush as a rookie?
Probably not.
To win games for you? That's my thing about it.
I'll give you a wild card. Jalen Milroe. I don't think he can throw a lick right now. But it's always wild ass. He just ran a 4.37 at his pro day.
Yeah.
When you have a guy who could change the game because he accidentally ran for 60 yards
isn't
twice.
That Trey Lance?
You talking about a better Trey Lance?
Faster Trey
He
Lance.
won't be a better Trey Lance.
Probably not.
More athletic Trey Lance?
Probably not.
Faster.
But I think that's the wild card.
But
when you're talking about a rookie,
saying,
I think that's the wild card that gives you a chance on any given
I'm just
day.
saying, when we talk about backup quarterbacks, and which is what the Cowboys have done a good
Dylan
job
Gabriel,
for,
baby.
is you want somebody that can hold the fort.
Yeah.
If your starter gets hurt, your starter has gotten hurt in the last few years. Of course, the goal is for Dak not to get hurt. But that's why it kills me. By we want to go cheap and backup quarterback. Why? You that's an insurance policy that you've needed, that you've had to push the button on the last 3 years, and now you want to
Because they know.
Dilly-daddle or fiddle-fart
around,
with the backup quarterback. Why would you do that?
Because if we get our quarterback hurt, we're tanking, baby.
And generally, these guys are all backup quarterbacks of the future, so to speak.
Yeah.
These guys not going to help you win now.
They've been lucky before. They just have to be lucky again. Undrafted free agent and fourth-round comp
Hope is not a plan.
Hope is not a
plan. Hope is not a plan.
Get lucky again. We will knock out your super chats, and then we will get into how high might the Cowboys draft a quarterback and all the assorted things we haven't gotten to in today's show. How about that? It's next on the DLLS Cowboys podcast. And I do need to circle back and tell you about my friends at HelloFresh, because if you're out there trying to order those meals right this second, I love that we are putting on the screen, it says code in show notes. Sometimes you'll be provided graphics and things on paper that don't agree on what the promo code is. And so sometimes you'll read the promo code that you have in your notes and they'll be like, that's wrong, read the one on the graphic. And so then you read the one on the graphic and you're told that's wrong, read the one on the show notes. If you're looking for those 10 free meals with our friends at HelloFresh, you're going to want to go to HelloFresh and you're going to want to use the code Cowboys10FM because it's 10 free meals. Cowboys 10 FM. That'll get you squared away with our friends at HelloFresh.com. Okay? Got that? Also want to encourage you guys to sign up to be a diehard, baby. It's draft season. We've got our golf tournament coming up, which is going to be so fun. And we will be there.
Maybe.
Still not sure if I need to sign up a team or if it's just assumed that I'm out there.
Do they know places with other people that sign up, like kind of make us play with, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Like you would think that maybe we would be playing with some people who signed up, but you also probably could sign up your whole foursome.
You can sign up a whole foursome. There's like an option that like you can sign up with Owen Newkirk to play with Owen Newkirk. And so I think we'll probably get on that eventually. So.
I don't think I want to allow y'all to play with me. I think I'm trying to bring ringers only. So
I'm bringing Bryson.
If you're a scratch golfer, tell them you're going to play with me. If you are a female that can put it in the middle over 200 yards, you're on my team.
Glad you.
They get to tee off from further up.
No, I'm glad you.
And then you take that ball that they hit.
You play from there. You play from there. Especially if you are good at chipping and putting. And smoking hot. So anyway, we got the golf tournament coming up. Sign up to be a diehard. Get you a discount on that tournament.
Smoking hot.
We can't see. We can't.
I'm single. Just saying. I'm a single man. So, ladies,
we can't see your feet in your golf shoes, though.
Fellas,
he's not a feet. It's you.
I like feet.
You can go shoeless on the golf
if I'm gonna be on the team, I'm.
You don't play golf with your feet out, though.
Jesse and I are looking for two ladies that can hit it 200 down the middle, can chip and putt,
and smoking hot,
and play in flip flops.
There you go.
Okay,
I go barefoot sometimes. It's fun.
I'm a good flip flop golfer. Let's knock out the super chats. I know we got a bunch of them.
It's called being grounded.
Let's get them things right. Jason, good day, guys. First time super chat. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Message for Jesse.
All right.
I spoke to you many moons ago on the Cowboys post-game show about their consistent inconsistency.
I love that.
Yeah.
If the Cowboys are so notoriously cheap, why wait to sign players?
Good point. Because it costs them more to wait.
If they're so cheap, why do they wait to sign players?
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Jason,
they're consistently inconsistent.
The common sense ain't so common.
Yeah, common sense ain't common.
Jason lawyer, he asked you a question that he knew the answer to. He even put the answer in the.
Yeah.
Common sense ain't common.
Jason, are you a lawyer?
Josh is in the super chat. Most Dak haters are casual, uneducated sports fans. They could have a flat in the middle of nowhere, Arizona, in mid-July, and it'd be Dak's fault.
Facts.
Yeah, I know it's true of some people.
Facts.
Dakota.
It's true of some people. Kerry Matthews, Freak Jesus, is in the super chat. Jeff, here's $4 for Taco Bell and one digit of your number.
Give me one digit. 2.
I'll give you a different one. 4.
I'll give you another one. 1.
Somebody already texted me during the show.
Did they?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Somebody has the number and said, yes, Mike B did this emoji. And you are both great and sexy. Definitely a male.
Both.
Chris, Dak,
You.
and CeeDee forgot who they play for. Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, cheap. Solid duck. Carrie's super wasn't enough for Taco Bell. Here's an extra $5. Get yourself something nice, Jeff. That $5 doesn't go directly to me, but I do appreciate it. Pulse Trip. Gallup going to be this year's Zeke. Total joke. FML. That did make me immediately jump on Twitter and be like, did the Cowboys sign Michael Gallup?
No, that's what I literally during the break I was like,
does not appear that way.
yeah.
No.
Certainly does not appear that way. So yeah, we'll see what the Cowboys are going to do at backup quarterback. I am on board the Dylan Gabriel train. He's too small. He doesn't have a big arm, but he plays quarterback well, and I like that.
And you asked the question of like, could any of these rookies actually come in and be a better backup than Cooper Rush? I genuinely believe Dylan Gabriel could evolve. As a guy who's like kind of already there, I think he's an older veteran guy.
As a guy that went to Oregon.
And Clarence thinks that Quinn Ewers could be that guy.
No.
And Jesse thinks that who's North Carolina's quarterback?
Drake May Jr.
Drake May.
No, genuinely. Like I think you'll attest to this. Like I think that's a guy. He had to learn 3 new offenses, going from 3 different schools. He had to keep getting better in terms of where he kind of rose up to. And then in his final year, he had to like really round out on a 1-year quick thing, get the leadership going. I think this is a guy that learns quick. He's very, very accurate. He's not like maybe he's going to bloom into something. No, that is who he is. He's accurate. He's short, and he gets the ball out, and he's smart, and he's kind of athletic. So like that's who he is. I think in terms of high floors, low ceilings, that's a guy as a good backup quarterback you could have for a while.
Short.
Oh, you carry that water.
Short.
You carry.
Am I wrong?
He's short.
That water.
No, you're
He
not
didn't
wrong.
go to Oregon.
You're just an a-hole.
Yeah.
It's from Big Lebowski. Am I wrong, dude? Am I wrong? Yeah, so that's that.
According to Zach Palmer, Nick Eatman said the Cowboys offered him a contract already. That's what people are talking about Gallup. Well, he's visiting Seattle and he's visiting Washington, so wherever he didn't like the contract, if that's the case.
Yeah, I'm sure the Cowboys said, if you want to come to camp, here's $0 guaranteed dollars, league minimum, and let's see if you make the team. I'm sure they like Michael Gallup, and if he wants to show up, he's welcome to show up.
I think they do like him. Yeah.
Michael Gallup versus Parris Campbell. I'm here for it. Let's go to war, ladies and gentlemen.
And again, no separation. He still don't separate.
Gallup?
Gallup.
No, he was done the minute he tore his ACL. And I didn't want that to be true, but when he came back, he couldn't change direction or stop.
Yeah, but he
could
didn't
run
separate,
a straight line, but he couldn't
didn't
stop and change
separate
direction.
much before that.
Right.
I mean,
He was the leading receiver in that Packers playoff game.
It's true. What happened to Gallup was the same thing that happened to Dez, honestly. Like Dez, when he hurt that foot, the difference between dominant and not good anymore for Dez Bryant was always that.
Yeah.
Because the way that he played.
Was it the foot or was it when he did the knee? Because
I think it was the foot.
The foot led to the knee.
Yeah,
After that,
whichever one.
Yeah,
it was
knee.
the foot.
Right.
Then he came back and he was fine. And then that led to the knee. And after that knee is kind of just went.
Well, Dez
went
was just
downhill
he was the
fast.
sort of player that
what about when he cut his hand making soup?
I don't think that would matter.
He wasn't making soup.
But he was the sort of player that Dez Bryant could dominate being the exact athlete he was coming out of college. And if you took away 5% of it, the end.
Yeah.
Because like just the way he won was, I want this more than you do, and I'm just athletic enough for that to be good enough.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you lose that little bit, that's it. And it happened to Michael Gallup too. I do have a question for you guys because I was donging around on a mock draft the other night.
Not the internet.
Technically, it was on the internet because it was streaming on my YouTube channel.
Okay, I was just making sure.
Make sure you're hitting the like button while you're here. Make sure you're subscribed as well. Because my people, they like mock drafts too much.
What people?
The people who watch me YouTube.
That's his people.
My people.
What do you mean, you people?
And they love the mock draft. So I did 2 of them. One was what I would do, and then I was like, all right, now let's do one that like, what could the Cowboys look like? And boy, when I tell you I struggled. And I'm looking for guidance from you guys and from the people. What do you think
What do voluntary mean?
the Cowboys think they need to accomplish in the early picks? Because like I get on the clock at 12 for the Cowboys, and I'm asking myself, would they take a guy to replace their left tackle? I don't think so.
I don't think so
I
either.
don't think so.
Are they willing to use the 12th pick on a guy to go take the job from Hoffman and Rob Jones?
I don't think so.
Okay, so that eliminates a lot of the top players on the board at positions that matter.
Yeah.
Are they willing to fire on one of the top 4 receivers at number 12? And do I have confidence in which one they think that is? Are they hunting Are they going to reach on a defense tackle? Like, what do you think the Cowboys think they're trying to accomplish or they need the most right now?
I think that the Cowboys think what they need to do will be drafting a DB.
Okay.
I think the Cowboys look at I think they do value that position, like the top end of it.
Corner for sure.
Yeah. And I think losing Jordan Lewis and them knowing Diggs is not going to be ready for the season. Like,
And probably this will be his last year as a Cowboy anyway.
like
You got to prepare for the possibility that
right. Like he's not a guy who attacks rehab the way he's Jeff.
sorry?
Yes.
I'm sorry?
He's you.
You are making an accusation about that man.
That's fine. I'm pretty confident in this accusation. he has the Jeff Kavanaugh approach to rehab.
They tried to make me go to rehab.
And they
I
try to
said,
make him go.
No.
Yes. Okay. That was good. I caught the end of that one. That was good.
Can I ask you? Can I ask you something about corners?
Yeah,
Just on that
sure.
note,
Were
is
you
that
done? No, I know.
That's all good.
No, but I want to further it
Okay.
a little bit. And I am interventing. Sorry. Jahdae Barron has got short arms.
Yep.
But he's a stud,
Mhm.
and he's a guy that I think fits a lot of things that they would want in the slot.
Mhm.
Does short arms really, really matter in the slot when guys are already off the ball and they're going in motion a lot? Does
Not
it matter as much?
Not as much.
Mm-mm.
Not as much.
So that's
Because
what I'm wondering.
part of the long arms thing, I think, and then because I really don't think that you were done with your sentences, and then I'm going to turn back to you and see where you were going.
Oh, so
I've
now you're
already-
making me out to
I've
be the
already
bad
forgot.
guy.
There you
forgot.
It's already
Oh,
gone.
man. Now,
No,
you
it's
know what?
okay.
Should I just leave?
No, it's okay.
I can leave.
Because it happens to all of us, from all of us.
Yeah.
I can leave.
Why don't you hop?
Because I think part of the arm length that people care about at corner is, hey, if I'm lined up outside and you're on the line of scrimmage, I can get my hands on you, and the longer my arms are, the better chance I have to do that. And part of it is also just how much of the field can we take away in terms of geometry by how big and long all of our humans are. And so, like, it's not irrelevant anywhere on the field because it's part of the game. But in the slot, no, it's not. It's not as big a deal.
My thing, what they want to do is just talking to Brian Schottenheimer. His profile may be different than Jerry's profile, but his profile is for that 12th pick we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's got to be a receiver, corner, edge, tackle, somebody like that. I don't think they're taking a tackle. You know, I'm with
Okay,
you on
but they
that.
will care about positional value,
Yeah,
premier
yeah,
positions.
yeah. They will. I think that certainly that's what
You're
Schottenheimer
going to take
would
that
do.
back if they take Omarion Hampton.
I was just getting ready to get there.
Okay, come on.
What that's why I said
I apologize.
what Brian would want to do with that pick and premium picks may be different than Jared, because I think that based on this offseason in the ho-hum coaching hire and the lack of moves, they need sizzle. And sizzle is a receiver or sizzle is a running back at 12. And I think Jerry cares about sizzle and selling sizzle to this fan base. Last 3 years, I mean, they tackle, defensive tackle, offensive tackle at the top of the draft. They're gonna bring sizzle back to the top of the draft for the Cowboys.
I think they like Omarion Hampton.
All right. Congratulations, Jesse. I'm putting my faith in another thing that the Cowboys tend to do, whether it's accidentally or on purpose. They do like to be able to pick the first guy gone at a position. If they pick the second running back at 12 overall, considering what they need on their football team, your boy's going to be sad.
Knock these super chats out before we go.
Your boy's going to be sad. Super chats. What
Yeah,
do we
more?
got? Let's see. Just the one? Okay.
Just the one.
Could they be bluffing about Barron? I don't think there's any bluffing because I don't think they've said anything about Barron.
My thing about Barron is this. I don't think you draft we're talking about positional. I just don't think you draft a slot corner. That's where you're going to play him at 12.
Most teams absolutely would not.
Yeah, I just don't think if he's going to be your slot corner, you're not drafting him at 12.
No, and I think, where he's going to get his shine on, and I think this probably can apply to Malachi Starks in this draft too, is like Jahdae Barron at Texas this year. He's an outside corner.
Right.
He's played the slot.
Yeah.
He can play safety. He could do
Whatever.
whatever you want.
He's Brian Branch.
No, he's a great player.
And if he could be Brian
Brian
Branch, that's worth number 12 overall.
That's what I'm saying.
Right?
Right.
That would be worth number 12 overall. If he
Especially with run defense, in terms of run defense.
yeah. He could be worth it. I'm a Will Johnson guy, and a lot of people are down on him, and I'm fine with that. But I think when you have prototype sort of traits, size, ball production, instincts, I take that chance and younger over, and I would say that while admitting Jahdae Barron's a better football player than Will Johnson right this second.
Yeah.
He's probably more prepared to help you right this second, but I'm betting on 5 years. Thank you, humans, for being here. We sure do appreciate you taking part in the broadcast. On the way out, why don't you hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed. And remember that you have no idea what anybody's going through. So be cool to everybody. We love you. Be easy.
Eliminate the contingencies.
We all silly like the mayor.